Hello my loves, hola mis amores, it is Crissy G. In today's video, we're going to talk weight loss stalls and plateaus. I feel like the closer that we get to our goals, we're starting to experience this a little bit more. So many of you are letting me know your frustrations as far as weight loss stalls. What are they, what they really mean, and what are some suggestions to help break the stall? In today's video, I will give you 3 effective tips on breaking that plateau once and for all. First of all, exactly what is a weight loss stall or plateau? So a plateau simply means that you've stopped losing weight for about 2 weeks. You haven't seen, maybe you're going up 1 or 2 pounds. Technically a stall means you haven't lost any weight for 2 weeks, but I know we've been bouncing around a pound or 2 because it's been happening to me. So I understand that this can be frustrating and discouraging, especially when you feel like you're doing everything right and the scale just doesn't budge. So how long does a stall or plateau last? Well, it can last a minimum of 14 days, but it all depends on you as an individual. It can go on longer than that. I mean, I know for sure because I've been in a stall for at least 3 to 4 weeks at a time. So this is where patience and consistency plays a big role. Now, if you're anything like me, I'm the type, I was the type that expected to diet a day or two and lose 5 pounds. I'd starve myself for 2 or 3 days. I'd do 10 minutes of exercise, and if I didn't see a change in the scale, I'd literally binge eat. And then I'd think, like, I'll just start tomorrow. And then I would just start Monday. And then a year later, I was, 30, 40 pounds heavier. I did this over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So in today's video, I'll explain 3 ways that I successfully broke my stalls. And not only me, but people around me. Also, what have you done to break a stall? If you've done anything, if you've hit a plateau in your journey and you've done something to break a stall, then please leave it in the comments, you guys, and let's help each other out. Let's help each other figure out how we can get out of the slump. So the number one question I get is, how do I get out of a stall or a plateau? Let's go over a few things that I've personally used during my journey to lose over 55 pounds. I know I'll say it all the time, you guys, but literally patience. It's that simple. It's such a hard thing to do, I know, but the payoff is so much more. If you stay with your good habits, and I can promise you, it'll pay off. Patience costs absolutely nothing but time and effort. So if you just let your body and mind catch up and sink, it will come off, I promise you. So number 2, have that craving, but in moderation. What do I mean by that? Well, this is something that I also say all the time, you guys. If you can't think about nothing else and all you have on the brain is a warm, chewy, melt in your mouth chocolate chip cookie, then just eat it. Eat it and you'll be done. If you eat a carrot or you have an apple or you have some broccoli and ranch because you're trying to get that craving out of the way, trust me when I say you'll end up eating all that healthy food, adding the calories, and then you'll end up eating the cookie anyways because if you're still thinking about it, you're still going to want to eat it. So don't replace the craving with a bunch of healthy snacks. More than likely, you're still going to end up eating the craving that you had plus all the healthy snacks because you can't stop thinking about what you want to eat. That could be a bag of chips. It could be a piece of chocolate. It could be a cookie. It could be a cupcake. It's okay. There is nothing wrong with indulging once in a while. Number 3 is calorie confusion, aka metabolic confusion. I won't go into great detail about this because it can get confusing if I get too much into detail about it. But in simple terms, there's days where you'll eat higher calories and then there's days where you'll eat much lower calories. It's worked for me personally. Sometimes I overeat a day or 2 and then I go hard, like I'll fast and I'll eat very low calories and boom, I drop a few pounds. Lastly, break your routine. If you usually fast, break it. If you haven't incorporated exercise, try adding 90 minutes a week. You can do like 30-minute days or 15-minute days, just as long as you do about 90 minutes. And then check your water intake. Are you sleeping enough? Maybe you're not sleeping enough and that's why you're gaining or not losing. Just try to break the monotony. Make a few distinct changes based on your own experience, and many people around me, we all have a few weeks where we kind of bounce from 1 pound or 2. It's happened to me, it's happened to my mom, it's happened to my cousin. We all kind of get to like a certain weight. Like right now for me, it's been 183 to 185. Like I will literally, you guys saw it, you witnessed it. I weighed 183 about a week ago, and now I'm back to 185. And I've just been bouncing back and forth. Like tomorrow I'll probably wake up and be 184. And then the next day I'll be 183. And then I'm back on 185. And I honestly do not know what causes that. but I can't let myself get wrapped up in that and then just kind of give up. So that's something that definitely is normal. It's happened to a lot of people. I get it in the comments all the time. Like, I've been stuck at 185 and I'll go down, but then I go right back up. So it happened to me when I hit Wonderland. I kept bouncing from like 199 to 200 to 198. So it's very normal to keep going like this throughout your journey. And I think the more you lose, the more it becomes visible, because in the beginning you're kind of consistently losing sometimes, even if it's at a low pace, but you're losing. And then once you get to like these plateaus and stalls, it kind of starts to slow down. So make sure you leave it in the comments, you guys, what you think, what you've done to break a stall, because we all know that we're going into these comments to see what works for other people or what's worked, you know, for the community. And so it's such a great resource when you share your experience, because people can learn from your experiences. So with that being said, you guys, I hope that you don't get frustrated. I know it gets harder and harder the more we lose weight, but I promise you, if you stay consistent, you guys, it will come off. I know I preach that all the time, but I do it because I've lived it, I've experienced it. I typically do not have the patience. If I don't see immediate results, then I get frustrated and give up. But I didn't give up this time, and here I am, 55 pounds down. Now, on that note, for those of you who are still on the video, still sitting here watching me, you guys, I had such a rough week. It started off in a real high because they posted the news article, and, you know, my family and friends and you guys were all super supportive on my YouTube community. It was the amount of outpouring and just, you know, good supportive thoughts and, you know, good energy that you guys gave me was wonderful. But somebody mentioned, you know, people were texting me and emailing me and sending me screenshots of how they were watching me on the news in San Antonio, or how somebody was like, hey, I saw your cousin on the news. And then I had one person that reached out and was like, hey girl, I see all the hate, but you look beautiful. I just want to know you look great. And I was like, see all the hate? What hate? And so I made the mistake of going onto the Instagram page that the news had posted the story at, Instagram and Facebook, and the amount of negative comments and like just bashing that goes on in those comments was incredible. I reacted at the beginning of it. I went on and made comments back and just kind of defended the situation, just because I didn't feel initially that it was a personal attack. Of course, you had people who were like, oh, I guess the one side effect is duck lips, or, you know, apparently it's not working because you're still fat. And it was like, they don't know me, so it wasn't like I took it personal, but at the same time, it was like, I don't know, you guys, I had a moment of weakness, and, well, I responded to some of the comments. Obviously, I was graceful and had, you know, kept my composure in most of my responses, even though it was difficult. But, you know, I have a really good supportive team, not only at home but at work. And so, of course, all the girls at work, you guys, most of you guys know them. They've been on my lives, and they were like, just don't go back on there. Don't read all the negativity. Don't let that get in the way of the success that you've had this far, and just focus on your community. And so for a second, I was like, you know what, you guys, you were totally right. You know, my real community, my people that understand, that have been going through all of this with me, like, you guys get it, you guys understand, and you're there also. I think it just really stings me, because I know that a lot of you think I have it well put together, and that you know, the amount of confidence that I have, you guys, don't get me wrong, is incredible now. It's huge in comparison to how it was a few years ago. That being said, you know, after a whole week, because the story aired on Tuesday, and literally a week later, you know, or, you know, a couple days later, I'm finally like feeling better, like, okay, yes, I'm doing good. I'm happy at this weight. Even though people were saying I still look fat, I could care less, because at the end of the day, I feel good about myself, and I'm proud of the 55 pounds that I've lost. It's not a miracle drug. That's what the news deemed it, a miracle weight loss drug. But we all know that even with this injection, you still have to do the work. I know there's some people in the comments that are like, oh, I had to do nothing and I've been losing weight. That is awesome for you. But for most of us, myself included, I still have to drastically cut down on the intake, because if I don't lose the weight, you guys. And so, that being said, you know, my kids came home today, and I got a call from the principal, and they, you know, I asked them what happened at school, and they were teased today about their size, and it broke my heart. I don't want to cry. Yeah, so it broke my heart. And I was hesitating whether I was going to share this or not with you guys, but I thought it was really important to share it, just because I think it really struck a nerve to me because I can be strong. Like, it makes me mad when people comment and say ridiculous things, and when their ignorance prevails and they are, what do they call them, keyboard warriors, or keyboard ninjas or whatever. Like, it's fine. I can defend myself. Like, I've learned through the years how to defend myself. But when it's your kids, like, it really hurts. And what's crazy is that you would think that this day and age, it wouldn't be that way. Because we talk so much about obesity. We see that, when I was in school, the beauty standard was a size 2. And, I was only weighing, probably through my whole high school, I weighed between 140 and to 160 was my heaviest in high school. And I would, now at 180, I feel thin in comparison. I mean, and back then the beauty standard was a size 2, the Jennifer Anistons of the world, right? And back then I was considered fat. Like, I got teased all the time about being overweight. I remember in elementary getting bullied about my weight. And I wasn't even a huge kid. I was just considered chubby in comparison to the, teeny people walking around school or whatnot. And so, we talk so much about body positivity now. We talk so much about preventing bullying and, in schools, and just being more mindful about what kids say to each other. And yet here we are, this day and age, and my kids are getting bullied about their weight in school. So that situation, like, immediately took me back to when I was in school getting teased and bullied about my weight, and how that affected me so much as an adult. And it's crazy. And so, it's just, it really, like, hurts when it's your kids getting teased about their weight and whatnot. So I'm definitely, I was very supportive about the situation and let them talk it out. And of course they were, both of them were getting teased. And so one was crying because the other one got bullied. And long story short, you guys, everyone's okay now. And, we've talked to them. And so we have that open communication at home. And so it's really important that we have that conversation with our kids. And unfortunately, no matter what we do, no matter how much society, evolves, it seems like that's the stigma of being obese is just never going to go away. And so I just want to, really let you know that not only, like, am I supportive of all of us, and we really need to be supportive of each other. It's just awful to see women tear each other down, or because one has better genetics than the other gives her the entitlement to sit here and tell me that I'm lazy and I need to eat right and exercise and I'd lose the weight. Like, there's so much more to obesity than eating right and exercising. And so it just, it's just horrible. But I just wanted to share that story because it just, it could potentially, like, change the way somebody thinks, or the way somebody, talks to their kids. And it's definitely something that, I always tell my kids, be nice. And so they have the biggest heart, and, they have so much love at home, but you can only protect them so much. And so it's definitely a conversation that we need to have with our kids, because I didn't expect it. It was just something that, it's just so much more common now that you don't think that they're still getting bullied at school over their weight. So that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we have a ton of giveaways planned in March, and I'm really excited about it. It's my birthday month. Me and the girls are gonna have we're gonna celebrate our birthday. Debbie's birthday is March 1st and mine is March 31st, so we're definitely going to celebrate the month together. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Like always, talk soon.